Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon, listeners. This is going to be a brief program. Let me just share this program and we can start. Thank you very much. It's me, Suleiman Ben Swai, coming back on Facebook Live. Today is the 5th of July 2022. The time is just gone 3 minutes past 4 in the afternoon in Birmingham, England. The program is going to be brief. And it's going to be centered on the adoption, arrest of Neneh Freda Gomez and Lamin C. And I'm going to clarify that point. But this program, it's not isolated, or what I'm going to present is not isolated. It's about the return to dictatorship. And I'm going to make that case too in brief. Now, first, let's deal with this headline. I have seen people, and most of these people I know, they are sympathetic to interest groups. That's the only reason. They are sympathetic to whatever they call a government. They are sympathetic to an interest group. That's why they have found a problem with the word adoption. Now, let's put it this way. They have to realize that we came out of dictatorship. We have seen similar things happen before, and we knew how it started. And I'm going to give them a lesson in history in this. And if they're sincere, next time if I post anything, they will think twice before even questioning the reason I'm posting this. First, we are coming out of a dictatorship. We have not reformed any of the institutions. And we have the exact people, the same people that entrench a dictatorship, that enforce the dictatorship in position. We came out from a TRRC. We all had what have happened. We all seen how it had happened. And what led it to happen. And we have seen those actors still in position. We had a white paper, and we have seen this government not even ready to publish this white paper. Then that's what should inform our mindset. This is what would inform our mindset when we deal with this government. We have to be very vigilant when we deal with this government. That's one side of it. It's about mindset of why I use the word adoption instead of arrest. Let's go on a second note. Now, the case of Neneh Freda Gomez. The minute Neneh Freda Gomez said, I am arrested, we knew, he didn't say why he was arrested, but we knew why is it related to, why is she will be arrested. It's related to a legal issue, a civil matter for that matter. If government want to deal with this thing, they should go to the courts. But government is avoiding the courts and continue to pick on a citizen. Now, if any other citizen should have empathy, the empathy should be to the citizen, not to the interest groups that they want to support. And that interest group continue to be government. I, Ben Swari, I am not here for any interest group, and I'm not going to look into the eyes of any person, citizen for that matter, to decide how I think or how I put my thing. And I am very careful of my what I do, and I make sure I put it in a manner that's right. Now, the reason she was arrested was not said, but we knew it's to relate to the property that so-called they want to put the OIC hotel. That's what it's about. And this is not the first, this is not the second, this is not the third, this is the third time. And still now we have paramilitary groups in that occupying that land, which is illegal. This is why we should have the mindset to know that we are dealing with a dictatorship, whether we accept it or not. But that's the facts, and I'm going to put that. Thirdly, when Neneh Freda Gomez used the word arrest, that's her choice of words. But the minute Neneh Freda Gomez herself said, we don't know where I've been taken, that's an adoption. We don't know where I've been taken. That's the adoption. Now, for her to not to know, you cannot arrest a citizen without reading the rights of that citizen and telling them, and if you have to take them, you have to tell them where you're taking them. Then Neneh Freda Gomez would have said that I am being invited, I am this, I am being arrested based on this, I am taken to place B or C. This is what should happen. The last time too, when she was picked up, she was driven out of the jurisdiction and kept in a cell somewhere else and treated this. She's not a criminal. It's a civil matter. She was treated very degrading for a woman or a human being or citizen. Didn't we not come out of the dictatorship? Didn't we not hear what happened? That's the mindset we should have. That's the mindset we should have. My activism did not start with Jammeh. My activism started with the First Republic. I am fully aware and conscious to know what is happening and what I am doing. Now, that's why I say it's an adoption. Until now, that we know where she is. That's why when I made my post, I put stroke arrest. And the rest will be determined. Now, I know for Gambians, it's mostly it's hypocrisy, a bit of ignorance. But the reason I am saying, for most of us Gambians, I'm talking about those present in social media, those who are privileged to be able to read and write, those people who are privileged to be able to buy the credits or live in the diaspora to afford time online, they know where the facts lie. But no, they are supporting this government based on interest groups, people they related to. It's not about tribe, because we have seen all tribes within that government. What they have is a criminal enterprise. Yes, and some of them would be identified as tribe, but it's about nepotism. Because why I say it's not about tribe, because there's no tribe, there's no person or group that represents the interests of an entire tribe in that country. It's impossible. Our constitution cannot allow it, and it systematically cannot happen, because we are all interrelated. Whenever you empower a Fulaman, you are empowering a Jola, you are empowering someone else, because of that Fulaman must be related to one of the other tribes, or all the other tribes. But this is what they use to divide us. And this is the interest group they have, and they come in as independent or come in as anything else. Don't fall for that. We are going to a dictatorship. And if people think that, and we have been saying it since even the beginning, we see it coming. No, we should not say Barrow is just like Jammeh. No, it's. And if it's possible for America, after so many 100 years, to turn out to have a dictatorship, where Donald Trump tried to be a dictator, tried to overthrow a government, and you think it's not going to happen somewhere else again? That's just, I don't want to take more time on that, but just so people that will know or should know or would know, want to know, go and find out what happened during the insurrection now, which is coming out from their commissions. Secondly, if Senegal can just go back to Macky, taking Senegal to a dictatorship, if you don't know what's happening, go and find out where the dictatorship is not happening in Senegal right now. This is where your mindset should be. But not only that, Sierra Leone is driving back. And it's not only Sierra Leone, Senegal, and Gambia. It's not only Sierra Leone, Senegal, and Gambia. But no, this is Africa going back to the 80s. This is Africa going back to the 80s. Guinea-Conakry, Mali, Burkina Faso, it's going, and Senegal, which I am still hopeful, because of the entrenched, so far, as I said, if you look at, America, don't be surprised. But there are still mechanisms. They have a civil society. They have a very, proactive political, class. They have a very, advanced intelligentsia as human beings, elites and so on. It's going to be difficult, and they have their religious things groups to rely on to do things. But it's not that it cannot happen. And I want to point to this again. the first ladies of Senegal, first ladies of Gambia, first lady of Sierra Leone. You have seen now how they created this first lady office as an arm of government to entrench a dictatorship. And this arm of government, this first ladies, what they do, that's where the corruption will go around, that's where the interest groups will come around saying that they're sponsoring and so on, when we have a government to do all the things that they say the first ladies office want to do. But that's just to give you a background. Let's come to the case itself. Because the reason I am coming out, it's not only about the case of Neneh Freda Gomez, because there are so many of it going now. But this is just to, I mean, I didn't have time to come all these days, but this is to talk about this move to a dictatorship. We are moving there. We are going back into the woods. Now, let's look at this background. Just a quick, brief again. A land was given to organization, and then organization is a medical foundation that had come to the Gambia before and exercised before, and obviously won confidence, and the then dictator gave them a land to operate. Now they operated, and I will not take the word for the dictator or anybody associated with the dictator. They forcefully took the land away. Because again, government have rights and powers and whatever it is, but have to go through a process, and I know the process was not followed. It was forcefully taken. Now, forcefully taken and everything else, it went on for a while, for years. We have a new government, and this new government, in fact, approach this or managed to sit in America, because it happened in America. Managed to sit with this organization to discuss the return of this property. And they went through the process of returning this property. This same government asked this organization to pay the arrears since Yahya Jammeh took it of that land register and everything else, and this organization paid. You see, just by paying that, you have legitimized the ownership or return to the organization. They did that. They paid everything. Everything was going smoothly. And next minute, interest groups, I'm not going to call it government, interest group have interest in that land. And now the government want to change from what they were doing to allow this organization and to come in. Now, why I'm saying this? I am not fighting for this organization. I'm fighting for justice. If government can go to the courts and win cases, then that be it. But the process that we go, the way we are governed, and the rights of our citizens of right to property and everything have to be respected. This is where it is. This government decided to go to the lower courts to get possession again. They lost. They went to the high court. They lost. They returned to the high court again, contradicting. Knowing that this case have already been dealt with the High Court, they did not go to the appeal courts, they did not go to the Supreme Court. They went to the High Court again, they ruled against them because already it's been dealt with. But we have seen it not once, not two, not twice. Where a citizen, Neneh Freda and Laminsi have been abused, their rights have been abused, the courts awarded them for the custody that the police did. Why is the police should take them into custody again? For people who are not outraged. I think your empathy should be with Neneh Gomez and the citizen Laminsi and any other citizen, but not because of your relationship with your interest group. Fii can dofu fi. But me Ben Soare ken joxuma agn, ken duma jox reer, ken duma jox ndir, but suma daan doole. And I had my integrity intact for over 55 years. And I don't see anything that will stop me from that. Now, this is the thing. The government lost everything. And we turn around to see a government come out to say that, oh, a Senegalese investor going to invest $100 million. That's a few years ago, about over 3 years ago, to build this thing in the same land owned by someone else. The land has not been resolved, problem is $100 million, and that was a lie. The guy doesn't have $100 million. I said it, and it's been proven. What has been proven? We went and looked at this track record. We did due diligence, simple. The government could have done. The company was a new company. The guy have never owned a company that have any value to do anything similar. At that time of announcing this hotel, there's no person, there's no organization that was mad enough business to invest 100 million in Gambia for a hotel in the middle of COVID and when tourism was dipping down. No. We knew something was not right. We went behind it and even look at the guy himself. The guy has done this before. He is a Senegalese with a Gambian mother. And he comes to Gambia, hey man, Gambian, we don't care what you are. What we care is how you are ethical. This guy did the same in Senegal. He went and supported Macky Sall. He gave 2 vehicles to Macky Sall. And both vehicles, in fact, got it in flames. One at the president's, approaching to the president's palace, the other in Tiwawan. Go and look at the newsprints, it's in there. And he was given a contract to procurement for IT materials. He felt he did not deliver. And the Audit General of Senegal, not Ben Suare, reported that he was found wanting. He did not deliver what he supposed to deliver. That's the person we have. Now, they gave this hotel, and this hotel what? OIC hotel. And they said that, the guy is going to build the hotel, the OIC is going to host, we're going to host guests and delegates, and after this thing, and the hotel will go to the person. Now, we all know that this hotel is not going to be built within the time of the OIC. Even if you push the OIC for another 2 years, it's not going to be built. Why are we fascinated with this? I'll tell you why. The guy have paid bribes. He have given 2 vehicles to Adama Barrow before having to this project to be signed. And I don't know how much he have given to different people. It's about the bribe they took from the gentleman. But it's not only that bribe. It's not only that bribe. We went on to find out. The gentleman later came to the Gambia and went into a relationship with a young Gambian lady. Social lights. Young Gambian lady. And the relationship was whatever it was, nice whatever, and he invited the girl and the family or friends to France and treat them well. And this same person, the so-called international businessman, the Senegalese, decided to give 2 vehicles to this, shipped, let's say, what the allegations are, he shipped 2 vehicles to this lady. Remember, he's an international businessman. He knew how this transaction should work. But he personally sent this vehicle to the lady to clear. If the lady was not given authority to clear the vehicles at the ports, the lady would not have done it. Where the money, which money the lady used or anything, that's not our problem. But what we can ascertain is the lady have cleared the 2 vehicles. If the gentleman, as an international businessman, wanted his own vehicle be cleared, I think he knows how to do that without getting his relationship into it. But turned out that the lady cleared the vehicles and the vehicles declared in her name. Now, turned around that he wants to marry this young lady and the young lady doesn't want to get married to him. He turned around and went to the same police to report the young lady that he brought 2 vehicles and sent it to the young lady for the first lady. Now he's saying that he bought these 2 vehicles for the first lady, Fatoumata Barrow. And because of these allegations, the police intervened again and arrested this young Gambian lady. Again, this is a civil matter. Why are the police interested in civil matters? Why are the police interested? And the police went and impounded the vehicles. And the young lady said, that's her vehicle. Because it was given to her. Whatever transactions that happened between them, we don't know. But it was a loving relationship or an affair or whatever you call it. And it was seen as a gifted, and the young lady said that it was gifted to her. He cannot just turn around and take it away. Because something must have gone, let's just put it, appreciation must have happened between the relationship when it happened. You cannot just turn around. If you want to do that, go to the civil courts. But right now, the police are impounding these 2 vehicles and in fact putting the lady on bail. For what? The lady has not committed a crime, for God's sakes. Now this is the police again. And because of now the executive, now the first lady into it. Now this is the first family or the president. This is what they do, interest groups. Now, this person have proven that he's even judgment for an international businessman to get into this tangling kind of relationship and this nonsense and to try to use the police just shows you that he's not fit for purpose to have anything to do with us. But this is the kind of people we have. Now, why is the police continue to arrest Neneh Freda Goddess? They don't have any rights to do that. There is no reason. He have not committed a crime. If the government wants, let the government go to the appeal courts. If the government wants, let the government go to the Supreme Court. Look, if the government have gone through the courts and win the case, nobody would not. But again, we're going to cut it short. We're going to discuss this again, just to alert. Now, it's not an isolated case. It's not. We have seen the case of Korosise family. Land taken from Korosise's family. Look, I cannot start even to count. I cannot even start to count. And always, these are people associated to the president. People are connected to the president. Interest group connected to the president. And what comes out of it? They have their way. What comes out of it? The police will go and side with these people who are connected to the government or the president. Because I don't call this a government. And this is the same thing that happened during towards the dictatorship or during the dictatorship. And what do we call that? Citizens been picked up for no reason. Citizens been picked up without knowing where they've been taken. We don't want to call that adoption. We want to call that arrest. It's not arrest. And this is returning to a dictatorship. It's not only about land. We have other forms, the corruption, the gun petroleum, let's go on, the cocaine, let's go on, the country, that's what is interest groups. And remember, the young people who are vagabond or whatever you call them, or victim of society around smoking dope or dealing in dope or something, which we don't tolerate, or going breaking people's houses and everything else we blame. But we don't blame these people who are creating this environment, who are creating this havoc on our people and continue to divide on us, on tribe, on everything. But we choose to ignore, or we want to use no more pleasant language. What language? We have to use the language that is fit for what is happening. It's a dictatorship. Now, this corruption, the abuse of people's right, we have seen this happen. Now, we have seen it with the medical workers. Just been sent this. You see, and no, we don't want to see that. But next minute, we want to blame the medical workers for not delivering their services. When they are suffering. Look, we are not the government has not come out to address this cost of living and anything else. Because they have not gone and redrawn the budget, cut the budget of State House, cut the budget of travel, cut the budget of this, and send it down to the people. That's what responsible government do. People living in the United Kingdom, you are expecting money this month. You are expecting money this month from your government. Some of you who are not earning that much are even going to get more. Some of us who are a little bit better off are going to just have a little. That's what a government does. And this was fought by the people, fought by unions, fought by the opposition, and the government have to do it. This is what we expect to happen. No, we are leaving the medical workers to be victimized. Teachers will be victimized. Everybody will be victimized, and until hell break loose, and we wonder where we were. What was the point of the TRRC? What was the point of the TRRC? This is where it happened. Not only property, not only corruption, but the abuse directly of people being sent 2 months, go home 2 months, then you're not gonna get paid, and you're not gonna what? Go 2 months. And if these people started to look for work, I tell you, United Kingdom, EU, and many places are recruiting medical workers. And if they have this opportunity coming here, people will see them as opportunists. No, they are looking after their families. Because that government doesn't care about the people, and the people need to be care about themselves. Nobody can do it for you. The people need to get out and care about themselves. With the State House, we continue to do what they do. You see them taking care of themselves. The nepotism. And they want to use that nepotism to say that we have a tribal problem. No, we have a nepotism problem. We have a corruption problem. And to give another lesson in history. Another lesson in history is, in the First Republic, you see these things, in the First Republic, we had these problems. And this is what led us to a dictatorship. again, as I said, this is the reason I'm not happy with the TRRC, because they have not given us the cause of the coup. No. And now, white paper, nothing, because if the people did not stand up, nothing will happen. Now the victim center is suffering. They don't have money, but there's a 50 million I advocated and identified is existent. The people in the government took, but the victim center are not going for that 50 million. And you think that we can sit here and just fight for you? No, we have to fight together, and you have to be on the ground there to fight. We have to fight. Let me give you an example, a lesson of what had happened in the during the First Republic. Matar Sarr. I know when it happened, we say Matar Sarr Sol Samba dañ reyante. No. I think that was unfortunate. Two friends, a friend killed another friend, and the friend that Sol Samba went to intervene, he did not go to use force or anything, but that's what happened. But what led these two young Gambians to lose their life, and the catalyst of that? Matar Sarr was a young Gambian that went into work after school and worked with work with a lot of written companies, and almost all of those companies are foreigners. Probably there might be one or two Lebanese Gambian company operating, but most of the companies operating were foreign companies. But he worked within those foreign companies and have the courage to form his own company. They don't want to have it. They don't want a Gambian, indigenous Gambian, to form his own company. You see, this story will be said, I'll take time one day and explain. And because of this, they started to look for anything. They started to look for anything to victimize Matar Sarr. And Matar Sarr is from a very prominent family in Banjul. But you see, if we ignore, that's what it happens. I know some of similar things might happen to others, but because of the magnitude or the gravity of what had happened there, it's not. Matar Sarr was started to be victimized. Matar Sarr was taken to the courts. The political interest and this special interest groups went into with politicians to punish this Gambian, to wreck him. They want to take everything from him. You know, for a man to work on everything, to have a family, to build everything, their family, you want to take everything from them. And unjust. It was unjust. He was taken to Mile 2, he was taken to remand for a noble citizen who haven't done nothing wrong. A civil matter, similar to what's happening now. Most people were just watching, and just as now, people out there, the hypocrites out there, coming to think that Ben Swara have a problem. No. I am privileged to able to know a little bit of history, and that's what informed my mindset. And Matar Sarr just had enough of that, and fought back. Unfortunately, again, people say no, Sol Samba did not go to fight. But because why? I give you the proof. Sol Samba was then the ADC to the president. ADC to the president. He was not in any area that he would have the need to go and enforce a warrant. He was an ADC to the president, to Sadava. And Sol Samba went to Bakau Barracks, then the depot, that's where the depot is, to do some transaction, because they were meant to travel. I will explain how I know this another day. They were meant to travel out of the country. And when he went there, the depot, this depot was the tactical support group, got an information that the police, the normal duty police, went to serve Matar a warrant. And Matar pulled out a gun and said, whoever stepped their foot in my compound, I am going to kill him. And obviously, general duty police or whoever they were returned and gave the message. And they decided to call the tactical support group. And this tactical support group were getting ready to go and enforce this warrant. And Sol Samba happened to be there. Sol Samba grew up, probably related, because Banjul, they are all interrelated. There's no Christian, Muslim, and surnames. They are all interrelated, if you know. Probably interrelated. But what I know is they must have been friends because they all grow up the same. They are around the same age. Sol Samba volunteered to say that, no, we don't need all this. I'll go and speak to Matar. And he went with two then junior officers. And I still have to confirm this. I was told Ndaw Njai was rising this thing, and someone else. That's what I was told. They went to the incident, to Matar. And obviously, what transpired there was, advance, don't advance, advance, don't, advancing, don't advance, and obviously Saul did not think Matar would do it. But when you take everything from a man, from the family, anything could have happened. And that's where we call Satan. It's not Satan, it's the politicians, it's the interest groups who went and to try to take a citizen and take everything from of them. You see, the importance of that case, we don't look at it. But you see, this continued because of when it was an uproar, a lot of protest and everything in Banjul, and I don't want to go all through that now. But what I'm saying that similar incidents keep on happening, and the so-called elites and other things keep on happening, and people getting away with it. From there on, they broke a bank. They broke a bank, the commercial bank, gone. Agriculture Development Bank, gone. Cooperative, gone. This is the corruption. That's how it goes. Robbery, armed robbery in the Gambia. When money was to be transported to the airport, armed robbery in the Gambia. Do you know where the money end up? Commanders in the police and others end up becoming rich or benefited from that. Still, that case has not been resolved. This thing all happened in the First Republic and led us to the dictatorship. If you want to know why it happened, that's it. And now we are walking the same route. People, interest groups. Now, some are labeled as Fullers, Mandinkas, Sarahulis, this. No. They are all criminals. That's what they have in common. It's about nepotism. And as we watch this case to continue, and this is not the only case, as I said, we have the Korosisis family case. We have so many communal cases. Look at the case at Salaji. Still now this government did not want to come with a comprehensive mechanism, plan to say that this is how we're going to manage land. This is what we're going to do. No. They want to just leave the doors open like this so that they can just take what they want. But Gambia, I'm going to end this thing here. We have to do something. You see, the minute Adama Barrow had that, and his government had that, Yaya Jammeh now, the environmentalists are taking Yaya Jammeh to the Swiss courts. Adama Barrow now started to panic and say, oh, timber sales. They are not telling the truth. They are part of it. The increase in volume, money, whatever it is, since Yaya Jammeh left the Gambia in the export of wood, almost triple. Who benefits from it? The interest groups connected to Adama Barrow. And if people come out and say that Adama Barrow is part of it, because he is part of an interest group. He's part of the interest group, just as he's part of the Gambia petroleum crisis. He is part of the interest groups. Guys, that's where I want to leave this. It was going to be brief, and we'll talk about this more. And another thing I want to say is, we are coming with a new online platform, Open Gambia. Open Gambia will be new platform. I will come on a day to explain the concept on why the need and what Open Gambia is going to do. And most programs or my anything I'll be advocating would be on Open Gambia, and my personal page would just be for other things. But I would appeal for everyone to like the page, share the page, and if I come out, take it after Tobaski, we'll talk about it and explain what the concept Open Gambia would be and how it's going to be. Thank you very much, guys, and have a good afternoon. Thank you.